Hey everybody, welcome back. You have come to part one of my two-part series on the paper crane. Now, this first video teaches you how to make a paper crane. In the second video, I'll give you some basic jewelry making skills so that you can turn your paper cranes into earrings. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe as well so that you can get future videos, and go and check out all of my other videos as well. I do lots of different paper crafting projects and that sort of thing, and I'd love for you to join me. All right, ready? Here we go. Okay, typically in this section there's a big list of ingredients for different items that you need in order to make your project. Today, you need a square piece of paper. In this case, I believe it's a 6-inch square or something similar, something thereabouts, to get that size. In order to get the correct size for the earrings, you just need a 2-inch square of paper. Again, these are on my website if you'd like these specific ones, but any 2-inch square will work for the earrings. Enjoy! With the correct side facing up, so when you make your earrings, you'll want your tea bag folding square to be face up. Make a diagonal fold and crease well. Open it up and make a diagonal fold the other way. Open it up once again. Notice you have two valley folds, one here and one here. Turn the paper over and make a horizontal fold, so one edge to one edge. Open again, turn, and do a horizontal fold. Oops. Horizontal fold in the other direction. There we go. This part's kind of fun. You want this piece of paper to look like this. Now that you've put the folds in, they should naturally want to do that for you. So just pick up two ends, press them together, and collapse them. Now we'll do that one more time. It's opened up. Just put them together and they will collapse into the shape that they're meant to be. And that is the end of step one. Step two looks like this. You're going to start with step one with the open bit at the bottom and the closed bit at the top. You're going to take that top flap and line up this edge here with the center crease or fold there. So just line them up. It will end up being a kite type shape. There you go. Now same on the other side. Open side, edge into the center. Just like that. Flip it over and do the same thing again. The edge into the center, lines up with the center, and your bottom edge lines up with the center. So now you have the same thing on both sides, and just for notation's sake, there is a gap there and a gap there. So one gap on either side. That's what it looks like from the top and from the bottom. Step two is complete. Step three tends to be the most challenging part for people. You're having to tell your paper to do something that it doesn't want to naturally do. So it's a bit tricky, but totally doable, and I think you'll be fine as long as you just practice, follow along. Okay. If you open up the folds that you just made, you'll notice that you have an intersection point where this crease intersects with the edge of the paper. When you do this next step, those are going to be a location to line up your fold with. Okay, so you know that these are a reference point to line your fold up. You're going to pick up the first flap. So there's one flap, and then there are two. If you unfold both sides, it looks like this: one flap on top and one flap on the bottom. Okay, you are going to, I actually like to leave the bottom folded. You're going to slide your fingers underneath the flap, and using those 2 points we talked about earlier as a reference point, you're actually going to make a crease along that line. See? There's your points we talked about earlier, and there's a crease across there, but it's just across there. It's not all the way across. What you'll notice what happens when you do that is that these two flaps want to come towards the middle. Well, you actually want that as well. So crease that, and then let those two pieces come towards the middle. And you'll have a crease already from a previous fold that you can make more creased. Or, sorry, remind it that it's okay to crease it. Just go ahead and crease that. And then you're going to want sort of a matching crease on the top as well. It just follows the natural lines of what the paper wants to do. See? And just like that. Now you've made a nice crease. We're going to turn the paper over and do that again. So we went from this to this. Okay, so step 3, finished. Step 4 is very similar to step 2, in that in step 2 we went from this one to this one. In step 4, we're going from this one to this one. Very simply, that just means bottom edge is going to go into the middle. Quick tip on that: you want to be folding the one that has little legs versus the one that's wings. See? So we're folding the leg section at the bottom. Legs at the bottom. Line it up along the edge. There you go. Now, with this particular step, staying away from the center is better than overlapping the center. So if you can't get it just right, just perfectly lined up, being a little bit this way to the left or a little bit this way to the outside is better than overlapping the center. And you'll see why in a couple steps here. Actually, I think it's the next step that you'll see why. Okay. So once again, the top flap edge goes into the middle. Leaning to the outside rather than overlapping is ideal. And of course, once again, overlap. Once again, flip it over. Bottom edge into the middle. Give it a good crease. And the last fold is bottom edge once again into the middle. Step 5. This is where it's going to start looking like a bird. In one step, you'll go from this to this. Now, this is why we had the little legs facing the bottom. You're going to turn to the side, put your finger inside that gap, put your thumb on the back. Okay? So if you'll notice from the back, I'm pinching that other side so that I have control over this as though it's flat. That will be very easy, but that will make it a lot simpler than if you were pinching it here and you can't get it open, and it's just awkward. So just grab the other side, flatten it, put your thumb behind it, and fold it up. Now, as you fold it up, you'll notice that it sort of wants to go back into this position, right? Well, that's okay. You're going to let it, but with that that small flap at the bottom up inside. So just like this. See how it's inside? So once again, pinch it and put it all the way up and close it again. Now, pinch the right hand side and pull, and then you can sort of make the crease wherever you like the head. If you want the head way down here, you can pinch it there. If you like it up here, you can put it there. I like it somewhere in the middle like that. I think it looks more natural. And the other side is exactly the same. So you hold on to the right side this time, open up the left side, put your index finger on top and your thumb on the bottom, fold all the way up and close. So it's sort of disappeared. Okay, fold all the way up and close. Now, holding on to the left-hand side, gently, you're going to pull out the other one and decide where you'd like it. I think there looks good. And give it a good crease. Right here. Okay. And that is step 5. Step 6 involves creating the head. Now all you have to do is decide which side you want the head to be. I typically pick the head based on the shape of the tail. Sometimes if you didn't overlap, or if you overlapped this section a few steps back rather than keeping it to the side like I mentioned, sometimes that can affect the shape of the tail, so you just pick the other side to make, or the shape of this, and having it overlapped makes it difficult to make the head. So just pick whichever one you think will work. I think this one will flatten much better. You're going to pinch it open. Now, you can see here that that's closed. I'm going to put my thumb there and it's going to become open. Now, very similar to the way we pulled up the tail and the head, we're actually going to press down. When we press down, see how it's like it's making a sad face, the head. When you press down, you can then pinch the sides like so, and that will keep the head in position. I'll show you that one more time. So that's the way it looked before. You put your thumb behind and your finger down. It makes a sad face like this, and press the sides together to make the head. You can play around with it a little bit until you like the shape or like the directionality of the head. It's totally up to you. And that's step 6. Now, a lot of people leave their cranes that way at step 6. I've seen thousands of paper cranes done like that. See how it's just a pointy bit, and then sometimes they'll fold out the wings a little bit so that it looks like a finished bird. But one of my favorite things about this fold is that it has a little bit of a secret to it, and that is step 7. See the difference? This one actually has an inflated body, so it actually looks like it has a real body. That allows the wings to stick out a bit more, and it gives it some more character. See? Makes it look more real. I'm going to show you that trick right now. You want to be really gentle with your bird so as not to rip it. You're going to hold the wings at the base of the wing, so right there where it connects to the body, and then roll your hands around. And while you're rolling it, pull out gently, and that will inflate the belly. I'm going to show you that one more time with my other example. And so once again, roll, and there you go. Your finished paper crane.